Okay, hello students. Here, this is Unit 2, Lesson number 12, and Lesson number 12 and Lesson number 13 are this Part 1 and Part 2. So, the first two lessons, whose purpose is to introduce students to polynomial division, focusing specifically on dividing by linear factors. So, all that means is we know the long division, and before working on long division, we will be working on box method. Now, let me go straight away, take a simple and easy example. So before we begin the question number 1, so lesson number 12 that has, I think there are 1, 2, and 3, and then there is 4. Now, I want to skip this 4. We don't need this in this lesson, but I want you to focus more on practice problem of lesson number 12. So there is a fourth page where there is a blank space. So you see there's a lot of, go to the fourth page and you'll see there's a blank space after question number 7. So I want you to write this, what I'm explaining in this area. Okay, so what is this is, let me take a simple example. So you see that there are two polynomials here. One is the linear polynomial and the other one is a quadratic polynomial. The question is, how did we get this, right? So remember, we can use this box method. So this x minus 1, you put x and minus 1, and this x square, you will put write down x square, then plus 3x and minus 4. And then we begin multiplying the first row, that is the x. So this x multiplies to x square. So this x square. So that x times x square will be x cubed. So this will be x cubed. Then the same x is multiplied to the plus 3x. So that is 3x. And if you multiply this, you get 3. And because there are two x's, you write x squared. So this becomes 3x squared. Next is the same x you multiply to minus 4. So x times negative 4, and you see the one negative sign stays, and you have 4 number by itself and x by itself, so minus 4x. So this is how we do this part. Then we multiply, uh, so we are done with this, then we multiply minus 1, this minus 1, so minus 1 times again x squared, which will be minus x squared. So this will be minus square. Then multiply minus 1 to this 3x. So minus 1 times 3x is minus 3x. And then the same minus 1 is multiplied to the negative 4, which will be positive 4. And this becomes positive 4. Okay, so now what we do the next is we try to combine diagonals, combine the like terms. So the first one, so all this is box. It's like area of this whole rectangle is adding all the areas. That means the first small area will be x cubed. Then it is plus 3x squared. Then we have minus 1x squared. Then you have minus 4x. Then you have minus 3x. And the last one is plus 4. And you can clearly see the x cube is the term by itself. But this two they both have x squared. So plus 3 and minus 1 will be plus 2x squared. And this together will be having the same sign, add and keep the sign, so it becomes minus 7x and plus 4. And you see this answer is same as this. But the question is, do you have to write this step? No, instead of writing this step, we can directly say from the box, you kind of do the diagonal adding or subtracting. So this two you add, and you can see this is minus 1 and that is plus 3, and which is plus 2, and you can see that's plus 2x squared straight away. Then, so my point I'm making is you need to check this out. So this this diagonal helps to get the x squared term here, this x squared term. And then this two, look at this diagonal, they are both like term, right? So negative 3x and negative 4x, and you can see this is negative 7x. So this relates to here. So sometimes now today's this practice problem is more about you will be given this one. So let me see, going backwards. So you in the beginning you had these two polynomials, linear and a quadratic, and you got a cubic polynomial. But what if the same question was asked? What if this wasn't given? So I'm gonna block this. So we don't know. Just imagine you didn't know this. What is this quadratic? I'm gonna block this, and then you're being asked, what is this? And this x minus 1 times what? Let's see, bx. Let's call this as bx to get this maybe px. So how do we get this? So how do we do this kind of problems? Is what factor is this? So that when you multiply, you get this. So all you do is undo the box method. So what does that means is let's make a box. Okay, 3. So this x minus 4 is the same x minus 1. Now, remember the very first term is x cubed. So this x cubed will go straight away right here. So this will be x cubed. And the number which is shown here, that will go right here, plus 4. Okay. Now, let me write this is that 2x squared, right? So we'll see that later on. Right now, you have to ask what do we I put here so that when you multiply this x multiplies, what should I put here so that you get x cube? So it's like you're saying, okay, x multiplies box gives x cube, and clearly it has to be x squared because everything is become x cube. Then you use this. So I'm going to write. So now that we know this answer is x squared, so this is x squared. Now this minus 1, use this x squared which is up here, multiply to the bottom minus 1. So that means you get minus 1 x squared. Okay. Next is I want to make let's make a diagonal. So this is, remember the last time I showed. So I need to know what should be here so that together it has to be it should be plus 2x squared. So it's like saying, okay, minus x squared plus in the box together is this 2x squared. And clearly it has to be, because you want plus 2 here, so you better write plus 2, and you can use your common sense. It has to be 3x squared will give you 2x squared. So this question mark which is right here, you can do mental maths also and say, okay, this is plus 3x squared. So then we need to know what goes right here. So this x times what multiply to get this 3x squared here. So let's see, let me take this all off here. So I'm again asking this x times what should I put here so that when you multiply this, you get 3x squared. And clearly there's a number 3, so I put a 3. There's x squared, so there's one x already here, so you put another x, so 3x. So this is going to be 3x. So let me take that. Okay, hope that helps. So this red one I've done. Then the next is you multiply the second row, which is minus 1, and to this one. So that means minus 1 times 3x will be minus 3x. So this will be minus 3x. Okay. So and finally we have to see, okay, I'm going to use another diagonal visual representation. Look at this. So now this time, this is already minus 3x, right? So this is minus. So what should I put question mark here? What adds there to get? Now this one is this minus 7x. Okay. So what adds to get this minus 7x? minus 7x. So and the only way is it has to be minus 4x because minus 3x and minus 4x gives minus 7x. So this answer right here will be minus 7x. Okay. Now, once you get this, then you use that. So now, what x times what multiplies here to get this negative 7x? So x times what is minus 7x, and you can see it has to be minus 7. So this is minus 7 here. This is plus, okay? And then you're done. So the whole answer, your answer is, remember this wasn't, if I take this, I think I messed up somewhere. Sorry, I messed up here. Let me take this. It's negative 4x. I should put this is, this should be negative 4. And that's why this will be negative 4 here. So what multiplies to get negative 4? And so let me make it correct. So what multiplies here to get negative 4x? And you can see it has to be negative 4. And you get the same answer. Now this is the very first one I'm showing. Let's go directly now to the problems. And as I said, I wanted you to copy this in the, and I want to do one more on this. Okay, watch this. This time you're given x minus 2 and what goes right here, right? So in other words, we have to have x minus 2 and then you have what goes right here. It means that it should be something with x square plus some coefficient times x plus number. So this is what we are figuring out. What is this, and what is this? So how do we do? Make a 2 column x. So this goes at the bottom. So this is x minus 2. And and then you make 3 columns. And we need to know what goes here, like question mark, question mark, question mark, right? And then the first one is x cubed. See, the very first one, x cubed, it will go right here. And the last one is plus 4. That will go plus 4 here. Okay. Now, what multiplies? So this x times what goes here to get x cubed is x squared. And whatever that you got here, right here, you multiply to this minus 2 will be minus 2x squared. Then now you make a diagonal this way, and then since this number is minus x squared, so you need to get a minus x squared right. So this together should be minus x squared. So it's like minus 2x squared adds to what you write, so you get minus x squared. It's like same as writing minus 2 plus what is minus 1. If you don't know, just add 2 plus 2 and you do the line. This goes away, so the box drops down and you get plus 1. So that means this is 1. But because it is x squared, you say 1x squared. So this is 1x squared plus 1x. I hope that helps. Okay, now that you got this plus 1 x squared, this one, so what should be right here? And so what multiplies this x times what goes here to get x squared? And you can see it has to be just a 1x squared. And I'm going to put plus just to specify the sign. So plus 1x squared. And then that plus 1x squared you multiply to this minus 2. So this 2 will give you minus 2x. Okay. Now you're going to have another diagonal to ask what combines minus 2x adds to what gives the second one. I think here I can't see. So that's minus 4 there. So this one is right here. See, you need to get minus 4x. And the only way to get is it has to be minus 2x because minus 2x and minus 2x add up to minus 4x. So this is minus 2x. So we are done. And finally, you ask a question, what this x times what gives you minus this minus 2x, right? And the only way is I'll take this off, and it has to be minus 2. And then that same minus 2, you multiply the bottom minus 2, which is positive 4, and you're done. So what is your answer therefore? Therefore, what this there was a question mark, right? So this was what we wanted to know. And now that we got x minus 2, and then the other one is x squared, which is here, then plus 1x or 1, and then minus 2, so minus. And then we can still split this, so we have to also factorize further down. So this will be two more factors, and you can break this. There's a 2 here. Remember that now there are 3 terms, and you want to factorize. There is a x here, x squared. So put a x here and a x. So what should we put over here? You split this 2s, so we can write negative 2 is the best option is 2 times 1 is 2. But what sign do we have to put? But at the same time, you want to make sure this is plus 1, right? So that's why you have to put plus 2 and minus. So these are the two options. We put right here directly plus 2 and minus 1. Because if you use again the box method, and you try to make a box like this, and you do x and 2, and you do x and minus 1, and you can see x times x is x squared, x times minus 1 is minus x, then 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times minus 1 is minus 2, and using the diagonal, so this 2, you end up getting the same thing. So this part, so that's how we do the factorize completely. Now let me go directly to the. So this is problem number 1. The polynomial is given. It has no. So this function, polynomial function, has a known factor as x minus. What it means is basically it's x cubed. Uh, so the ending is x cubed minus 3x squared minus 10 of x plus 24. But one of the factor is x minus 4. So x minus, but we don't know what is the other one. So question is, how do we factorize this? So what are the other two factors? So before even so we need to know actually there are 3 of them here. But we before we know this, at least we should know x minus 4, and then there will be, because there is a cube and this is x, so it has to be x squared plus something x and plus some number, and then this is what we are going to factorize. So how do we do this? So step number 1, let's see what question mark. What is this part, right? So x minus 4, let's use the box method. So this is the box method. Okay, here it is. So this is x minus 4. So that x minus 4 go right here. Now this one is x cube, right? So this will be x cube right here. And the number is 24. That goes right here. Now, what multiplies to x to get x cubed? And you can see it has to be x squared. Now, that same x squared which you get right here, you multiply at the bottom row. That is minus 4. So this becomes minus 4x squared. Then I will make a diagonal for visual. Now, what adds to? So what adds to minus 4x squared to get, and now this time there is a minus 3x squared. Say what? So how will you get minus 3x squared? It's like asking minus 4 plus what gives you minus 3, and you can see you can just add plus 4, and this crosses out, and the answer is plus 1. It means it is 1x squared. So that goes 1x squared. So this is how you do. Okay, the next is you say, okay, what multiplies x? What multiplies x? So x times what gives you this 1x squared? And clearly it has to be x here. And then that same x which you have, you multiply to bottom minus 4, which become minus 4x. And next you use diagonal. That means what should I put here? So what should I add to minus 4x to get this minus 10x. And clearly, it has to be minus 6x because that's the only way you can get minus 10x. So this becomes minus 6, correct? And then, okay, ask a question, what x times what multiplies to get this minus 6x? And you can see it has to be minus 6. And then finally, that minus 6 and this minus 4 really gives you plus 24, and you're done. So this is how I asked a question. First, is is x minus 4, and I say what gives you this whole big polynomial cubic, and clearly the answer is here it is plus x squared. This is plus 1. I'll put plus 1x squared and minus 6. So there you go. So the first part is done. So this is the most difficult part in the sense like you have to be very very careful. Now let me write this at the bottom here because there's x squared. Sorry, this is just an x. X squared, x minus x. So x minus 4, x squared. Then it was what? Plus x and minus. Now we have to write two more. This is x minus 4. Now this is x squared. So if it is x squared, clearly this has to be x and x. And this is plus 1. So we have to split this 6. So do I split 6 as 6 times 1? Or do I split 6 as 2 times 3? Which is the better option? Now, because when you want to combine, this is plus 1, you want to make sure one of them has to be positive, one of them negative, or this is negative, this is positive, this is positive, this is negative, this is negative, this is. So when you subtract, you need to get a plus 1. So 6, if you take 6 and 1, if you subtract, you get 5. So this is not the option. So option is this one. The question is which one is positive and which one is negative. And clearly, there is a plus 1. If it is plus 1, it is better to have the bigger one takes plus, the smaller takes minus. And that's why I put minus 2 and plus 3, and you're done. And if you have still question, then you can always check your answer and you say, okay, x minus 2 and x plus 3, and x times x is x squared, x times this is 3x, and x times this will be minus 2x, and this will be, how much the video kota, and this will be plus 6. Sorry, this will be minus 6. And that's what it is. So this is correct. Right? And if you want to sketch, so there's another question they ask is how do you sketch this? This is a cubic polynomial. Clearly, uh, in the beginning, here it is, right? This is a cubic and it is a plant, so it has to be something like this. The maximum it crosses the x-axis will be 1, 2, 3. So now all you do is check the opposite of the factor. The numbers check for the opposite. So that means what are the zeros? So the moment we have this 3, what are the zeros? So the zeros are, or the x-intercepts are opposite of my, I'll do the plus first, which is minus 3, then I'll go for this one, which is plus 2, and plus 4. So when I try to sketch this, so let me draw like this way, this will be minus 3, 2 will be this, 4 will be here, and you can see the number by itself was 24. Somewhere up here will be 24 maybe. That's the y-intercept. And the graph goes starts from down, goes up through 0. Okay, maybe it goes up here, takes a turn somewhere, goes through this, passes through 2, takes a turn somewhere, and that's how. And look at what the behavior of the end behavior is on either side. So if you go as x takes larger positive number, the y takes very, very large positive number. And if x is very large negative, the y takes very large negative. I hope this helps. So let's go to this. Okay, look at the second question is one student he thinks that one of the linear factor of this big cubic polynomial is uh, He knows one of the linear factor of this. After finding out that P1 is 0, he suspects x minus 1 is the factor of Px. Here is a diagram he made, and what is his mistakes? So when you look at it, and how did he know that what is this? Say P of 1 is 0. It means when you plug in 1, if I plug in 1, 1, 1, what you get here is this will be 1 minus 9 plus 23 and minus 15. We check, you get 0. That means the graph, when it is 1 here, so the graph crosses, okay, of course minus 15, so it somehow I have to go something like this. I don't know, but I'm just trying to guess that it goes through 1, and because there's minus 20 15, so I'm gonna put it like this. So he thinks that x minus e is a factor. So so that means he one of the zeros is 1. That means x equals 1 is a 0, is the x-intercept. The graph crosses the x-axis. So when I subtract minus 1, and you see this x minus 1 is 0. So this is the factor. Now, what he tried to do is he wants to figure out the other factor. So he uses the box method, like the one that I showed in the earlier last 20 minutes I was working on. Remember, if this is the x minus 1, it has to be the same thing here. It has to be x, and this should have been minus 1. So he made a mistake, and he made a mistake right here. Missed that he put plus 1, and that's the mistake there. So you're supposed to write that where is the mistake. So if x minus is one factor, it has to go exactly x here and a minus. This should be minus 1, and then everything would be correct. So that was his mistake. So I wanted to make sure in this example, we understand that if something is a factor, it means how do we write this? But the question is, what is the meaning of x? Why did he say x minus 1 is a factor? Because he saw P of 1 is 0. That means when x equals 1 is the input, then he got P of that input is 0. This is the output. The output is 0. So that means the point is 1 comma 0. It means the x and y. X is 1, y is 0. So this is what that means, is what is the meaning of a factor. So what is that we learned here is not just this example of a mistake of writing the box, but also to understand that if x minus 1 is a factor, basically it means x minus 1 is 0, and that means x equals 1 is a 0, and it is also x-intercept, or where the graph crosses the x-axis. Let's go to the third part. So this is problem number 3. So now they gave us a quartic polynomial, and one of the factors, of course, they give us two factors, x minus 2 and x plus 1. I will stop and I'll do this one first. So when we let's make a box, a little longer box we'll have to make, and two terms. So this is x and minus 2. So put x and minus 2 right here. And then I have 1, 2, and this way. So let's see, or we may require more. But because there is a 2x, the first term is 2x raised to 4, so this becomes 2x raised to 4. The last number is plus 30, so I'll put plus 30 right here. And now, what multiplies? X multiplies what to give this 2x raised to 4? And you can see it is 2x raised to 3. So that's the only way we can get 2x raised to 4. The moment you get this, now you multiply this 2x cubed to this minus 2, that will be minus 4x cubed. Now ask a question. I'll use the red color. What adds here to get minus 9x cubed? And you can see minus 4 and minus 5 is minus 9. That means this is minus 5x cubed. Next part is what x multiplies what gives minus 5x squared. So this will be minus 5x squared. And then the same minus 5x squared multiplied to minus 2. So two negatives makes it positive. 5 times 2 is 10 and x squared. The next question, I'm going to use the other color to say what multiplies this to get this one, minus 12x squared. So it means plus 10 add up to what gives you minus 2. If you don't know, just do this, solve this, and you say minus 10, and you will see to get minus 22. So this becomes minus 22x squared. Next question is this x times, now I'm using black color, maybe I'll use blue. Okay. So what multiplies to x to get minus 22x squared? So this becomes minus 22x. Then the same minus 22x times this minus 2 will give you positive 44x. Next, I'm going to use a black color marker to show what do we add to 44. So 44 add to what gives you this 29. See this, there is a 29x. So this is what gives you 29. And you can see you'll have to subtract 44 on both sides, and you'll end up getting minus 15. You can check that. So this will become minus 15x. Next, ask a question. What multiplies here? What multiplies x to give minus 15x? So it has to be minus 15, and the same minus 15 you multiply to, you get plus 30, and you're done. So all we got is we got another polynomial, one factor. So this means we got this is x minus 2, so this is x minus 2, and now we got this whole thing. So 2x cubed minus 5x squared minus 22x minus 15. Now what we're going to use the second one, x plus 1, and we're going to use this. So what multiplies this one? So this is already done. We took care of this. So this is already done. So this time I'll focus on I want to uh, factorize this. This is done. So let's use this. What multiplies to this one to get this part? That's the goal now. So this is already done. So let's make another table box. Okay. And this is 2x squared. That will be, okay, but first let me write this as x plus 1. So this is x, and then is plus 1. And this 2x cubed will be right here, and the number by itself minus 15 will be here. Okay. Now, what multiplies x to get 2x squared? So this will be 2x squared, because that's the only way you can multiply and get 2x. The same 2x squared you multiply plus 1, and you'll get 2x squared. Now I'm using red color to show what adds to 2x squared to get minus 5x squared. So 2x squared plus what is minus 5x squared. And you can see you have to just subtract 2x squared, and you get negative 7x squared. See, so this goes away, and the box becomes minus 7x squared. So this becomes minus 7x squared. Then ask a question, what multiplies here to give 2x to get minus 7x squared? So this has to be minus 7x. And the same minus 7x, whatever you have, multiply to this plus 1 gives you minus 7x. Next, add, okay, what adds to minus 7x? What adds to minus 7x to give minus 22x? So you add plus 7x, and you get this crosses out. So this was a question mark, and you can see you get minus 15x. So this is minus 15x. And then you ask a question, so it's going backwards, right? So what multiplies to x? What multiplies here to get minus 15? So this has to be minus 15. And the same minus 15 to multiply to plus 1 gives minus 15, and you're done. So what did we learn from here? So what did we learn here is this was x minus 2 was the first factor. Then this was the x plus 1. So the cubic is factorized to x plus 1, and the one that we got right here, we'll put it right here, 2x squared minus 7x minus 15, and you're done. Now it's still not over, so we need to still factorize this. And now this is a little confusing. For this, you have to think of the problem that we did long back. How do we factorize this? So for this kind of thing, whenever it is not just one, it's other than x one. So multiply this. So all I do is minus 2. Use the shortcut trick, x plus 1, and I'm gonna use, because it is 2x, put a 2x right here, put a 2x right here, and then divide by 2. And then this 2 multiply 15, this 2 multiply 15 will be minus 30. So you have to have two numbers, one with positive, the other one in such a way that they multiply to get minus 30. And at the same time, you need to get minus 7. So what are the numbers can we think of? Is it 1 times 30? Or it is 2 times 15, or it is 3 times 10, or is it 5 times 6? Remember, when you subtract, you have to get 7, and this is a better um, candidate for to put those numbers. So minus 30 can be written as, uh, and because there is a minus 7, so the bigger one will take, the 10 will take, so we'll put plus 3 and minus 10. So these are the two factors which are better option. So I'm going to put it right here, minus 10 and plus 3. And you can see this 2 which is at the bottom now will divide this 2 and this 10 by 5. So your final answer is x minus 2, x plus 1, and x minus 5, and 2x plus 3. And that takes care of the problem number 3. So you're going to skip problem number 4. So skip this because that's from the previous one. Let's state the degree and the end behavior. So first thing is write in the standard form. So we write the leading term first, that is 4x cubed, then the term with square, then the term with x. And so this is the right way standard form where this is the leading term. Question is, what is the degree? So the degree is the highest exponent, that is degree is 3. And what is the end behavior? It means because this is a cubic, then it is plus. So that means the graph is this way. And you can clearly see as x becomes larger and larger. So as x becomes very large positive number, the y value becomes very large positive number. But if x becomes very large negative number, then the output, the y values become very large negative number. So that's all you're supposed to write. I want you to write in your own English words. What is that? Okay, thank you. So let's go last two. Okay, the same question number 6 is almost the same. Here there is a 5, so quintics. I'm going to put it in the standard form this way. Then plus 6x raised to 4 plus 9x cubed plus 7x. So the standard form. The main focus is this leading, the degree is 5. This is degree is 5. That's fine, and it is a quintic. But there's a minus 2, leading coefficient is negative. So if it is negative, and because this is, if, if it was 3, then this goes like this, right? But because it is 5, it will take 4 terms. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means the behavior is almost the same like a cubic. But the thing is, because it is minus, it doesn't stop, it does not start from down up, but it will go from up and something like this. See? So you start up and then goes down. It means if I try to draw x-axis and y-axis, it means as x becomes very large positive numbers, and the y value becomes very large negative numbers. And if x becomes larger and larger negative numbers, then the y becomes larger and larger positive value. That's all you're supposed to write the end behavior. So what are the points of intersection this part? So in order to find the point of intersection, if this is x-axis and there are two graphs, one going this way, another one going. To find this, that means the output is the same, the second x and y, the output is the same, right? So if this is the y for the first one, this is the y for the second one, it means this thing, this x plus 3 and x minus 1 has to be same as this one, x plus 1 and x minus 3, and none of them is the same factor. So all you do is you use the box method and you say, okay, or you can use FOIL method too, or you can make two boxes this way and figure out. And you can say, okay, x3 and x minus 1, x plus 1, and x minus 3. So you can use box method here and say, okay, x times x, x squared, then x times minus x like this, then 3 times x is 3x, and the same 3 times minus 3. So eventually all this you get is x squared, and, and you combine this and you get plus 2x, and this minus 3, right? And on the other side, this x is x squared, and this minus 3x, and this will be x, and this will be minus 3, and you combine this, and you get my x squared minus 2x and minus 3. So what's going on here is, uh, so if you subtract x squared both sides, so this will cross out and you get 2x minus 3 equals minus 2x minus 3, and add 2x both sides. So you get 4x minus 3 is minus 3, and add 3 both sides and you get 4x equals 0, and divide by 4 you get x equals 0. So when x is 0, that means the first number is 0. You have to plug in any one of them. So you plug in here. So 0 plus 3 and 0 minus 1. Work it out. 3 times minus 1, you get minus 3. So your answer is going to be minus 3, and you're done. I hope this is, even though it is a long video, I hope this will help to understand, especially the first 35 minutes. Okay, thank you. Make sure write all the steps, try to understand, comprehend, replay, repeat it, watch it again one more time. Uh, okay, so this is practice problem number, lesson number 12. So the next one will be lesson number 13. Bye.